Hey guys, welcome back. RPG a day 6. RPG a day, day 6. And it was a never question. Oh, that's right. Favorite game that you'll never play. And I'm going to have to go off the never keyword. Even this is a stretch. So, favorite game you'll never play. No such thing. I obviously for the last 22 years I've been running Rollmaster. Well, actually 21 years because you can't count 2023. Which has it's still my favorite game. I'm looking for games, and I'm open to the possibility of Royal Master being toppled off the top seat. Hasn't happened yet, but obviously I've played that. Lots of systems interest me, and I don't believe I'll play them past introductory adventures. I think Riddle of Steel will be that way. But that doesn't make Riddle of Steel a favorite. I find the risk setting amazing. To me, I know some people will disagree with this. While a setting and a system, I have become convinced, are closely linked, do inform each other, or should inform each other. The setting is still just the setting. It's not the game. The game is the system. The game is the mechanics. Are the mechanics. The game is the system. Verb conjugation. And so I wouldn't even necessarily say that Rifts is my favorite setting. Even if I did, I don't think I'll never play it. I would like to play it again at some point. Bring my other players into it to introduce them to the world of it. And again, I may also not use the setting, but only use the system. I may use the system. We'll see. As I've stated before, I find like simple hit point systems to just be an absolute drag. I might have to house rule some things. Maybe that's the easiest thing to do. House rule some non hit point things into combat, so it becomes more interesting. Um, what and never is the bolded word. So what's nevers? And I'm trying to keep this in the spirit of RPG a day and keep it really positive. So what am I going to say? I've even recently posted about seeing some value in session zero red flag conversations, which I'd never had valued before. If you detect the right stuff, read between the lines on a lot of my stuff, I'm pretty conservative. I'm pretty straight up. That doesn't make me like super stiff on things. But I realized, oh, hey, like the culture doesn't necessarily default to staying away from adult topics anymore. So yeah, I guess I do need a red card session because I don't care. I'm not playing my role playing game for erotica. The hell, no. And to me, like that, even with my non-religious, non-right wing friends that I grew up role playing with or grew up like college age, you didn't have to tell them that. They knew better than to keep that out of there. So apparently, I find value in a red card session now because I have to state this isn't your jerk off time. So, um, so to the point, like never say never, in a way, right? Like I never had value in that before, and now I do. I couldn't. So what am I supposed to say? Never. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to do that. I feel like that's not very positive. I never want to be the GM who someone who's reasonable says I left because his game was boring. I never want to be a GM who says that the player says I left because they were unfair. I never want to be, I'm going to be short on lots of other characteristics, right? I'm probably never going to be much of an actor. I don't have that. I wasn't in drama. I don't have that desire. I don't do voices. A lot of my times as a player, a lot of times I'll say my character says and give a summary rather than word for word. And so I don't think I'll ever amaze players or GMs in that manner. Um, so I have enough shortcomings, right? I don't want to give people other reasons Um, and maybe that's the way we can say that this is a positive message, that to use this positively. Um, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know which weaknesses you're willing to work on to what degree and which ones you aren't, and make the other parts of your playing or GMing awesome, man. Like, let those be the things that people say that GM did really well at, or that player did really well at such and such, you know. I never got online and made a huge, I don't think I did, a huge discussion about that Fate GM that I got introduced to Fate under. He had a bazillion bad decisions, but he had some really good stuff too. Like, I've seen props used in RPGs, but considering this was this kid's, and I call him a kid because he was super young, we never asked his age, but he couldn't have been more than, he couldn't, I said he couldn't have been more than 25. The young gal, our friend Elle, who's probably 24, 25, was like, no, he's not even that, which makes sense. She's closer to the age, so she has an idea. So maybe he was like 22 or younger, maybe not even in his 20s. He had some awesome props that he was using for the game and using them well, using them thoughtfully. Props to him. I'm not even going to get into all the other negative stuff he did. So you got strengths, use them. Like, that's what you want people to come away from your games, either playing with you or playing under you, going like, that person did these things well. So never think that you don't have anything to offer. How's that for a never? How's that for a never? Never think you don't have something to offer, either as a player or a GM. Awesome. See you later.